Hi, I'm Dylan, and I engineered and mixed Canyon Light's upcoming album. And this is just a little, behind the scenes look at the drum mix for the song Let Me In. Let's check it out. So, for this song, the overall drums, we recorded them in the room live with Pat's guitar. So, there's bleed. And we just kind of used that bleed to reinforce the guitar sound. That was, we didn't really have any other way to do it, so that's how we did. So those are the drums in as much isolation as we could get, because the guitar cabinets were literally just, I don't know, 6 feet away from the drums when we recorded the whole album. So we had to make do with the space that we had. We did it on an 8-channel tape machine, 388 if you're familiar. So we only recorded 4 lines for the whole drum kit. So I have a kick out, I have a snare top, and I have a pair of stereo overheads, and that's the entire drum sound. So for the kick, I think we just used like an RE20 or something. So it's just a pretty basic kick sound. Got some compression or some EQ here, just giving it all the sub energy that I could possibly give it. We're gating it and then just goosing that transient pretty hard. The snare, the top mic on the snare, was really just kind of for the crack and the crunch of the snare. Most of the body was in the overheads, and actually the majority of the drum sound was the overheads. But on this snare drum, we're just doing some EQ, and then the name of the game on this one was distortion. So I had this little distortion unit that's just doing, a bit of drive on the whole thing. Just for vibe, because the name of the game on this one was aggressive, so distortion was our friend. The big thing on the drums was the overheads. So these were a Blumlin stereo pair, like a coincident pair, of MXL cheapo ribbon mics, because that's what we had, but I love the way they sound. So this is what they sound like. So we got a good balance, kind of just, Tim, being the phenomenal drummer that he is, was able to kind of mix himself in the room. So our snares and cymbals and toms kind of come in and we got a good balanced capture at the microphone level, before anything. So it was pretty easy to get it to sound rad. That being said, I did run it through an exciter on some low frequencies to kind of make the toms jump out a little more. Because since we only had four channels, we couldn't put close mics on the toms. So all of the tom energy that you hear on the entire record is coming in through the stereo overheads, and is being just, brought forward with compression and distortion. Same distortion on that, and then we run it through some Very Mew. This is kind of like a Fairchild copy. We're just doing a little bit of kind of medium attack, fast release compression, like 3 to 5 dB. Not super aggressive with it, but this thing is adding a little bit of coloration. It's a very kind of that compressor had a lot of character. And then we run the entire bus through that same compressor, which is doing kind of the same type of compression, super fast release, pretty slow attack, because we need that punch to come through. We don't have a lot of close mics on anything, so it's got to be as transparent as possible while still giving it that pump and that compression effect. And then the entire drum bus after that is going into this same distortion unit, getting some crunch, but it's only distorting the super high frequency stuff. So it's like really only working on the crack of the snare and the cymbals and the point on the toms when you hit them. And I find that just kind of gives it some clarity and some definition where there wasn't before. And it's more fun than using a high shelf on an EQ. The only other drum sound we have are some claps here for the bridge that, you know, we just recorded. I think Tim just sat on the throne and clapped into the overheads, and I ran those through some spring compression to give it that spacey feel. And in the context of the song, I thought it sounded cool. Thanks.